change of pace today. Yes, I'm fishing. Now it is a little rough. I couldn't fish in my normal place. Well, when I say my normal place, I was only out the last day for the first time 2 weeks ago, for the first time in about 20 years. And as you can see, it's a little bit rough, and I'm up here on the cliff, well away from the swell. I'm just fishing with a float and a couple of feathers type thing. Hopefully a couple of mackerel will pop by. And I haven't ever fished here before. I've always considered this place too high, but it's good today because it gets me away from the water, you know, because the water is just too dangerous today to be anywhere near it or down level to it. There's about a 2 meter swell pushing through. We're in the middle of a high pressure system here at the moment, and just a couple of 100 kilometers offshore there's a serious low pressure, and that's what's generating this swell. I got the wind behind me, got a fantastic seat here, sun is beating down. It's not that hot really, but it's okay. And I'm just watching the float, and the float is staying nicely in position. The line tends to come around sometimes. Got caught badly in the kelp one time. I managed to get it free, and but there's nothing out there at the moment, which is surprising because the dolphins had been passing by. 2 pods of dolphins have passed by. So when the dolphins are out there, they must be feeding, and they were feeding along the line just 20 meters offshore, 30 meters, but nothing here. Now this is a renowned good spot, but nothing taken. Hopefully over the next few hours something will happen as regards catching fish. How spectacular is that? There are 2 cracks, 2 little caves here in the rock, and the sea rushes in, and the air has nowhere to go, and the air wants to come out. I'm really disappointed with the fishing today. I really thought today there'd be something knocking about. Maybe it won't happen until evening time. I'll just sit here and watch these airlocks do their business while keeping an eye on the float. Got nothing to worry about, I think, really. There's nothing happening. Here we go. A couple of big swells coming through here. I have moved down here to the very calm and peaceful Carrigaholt Pier. This is on the inside of the peninsula. I was on the Atlantic side, now I'm on the estuary side, hence why it's so calm and peaceful and got no heavy swell. The wind had really picked up there before I left. It had kind of turned westerly, and it got very rough. So it's not quite high tide yet. High tide's not for another half an hour, so hopefully I can snag something. It was just too rough over the other side, but we're here now. I have no idea what it's like here. The pier seems to be in a good position, you know, really isolated spot, and could be in deep water. I'm not really sure really what kind of water is here, or I'm not really sure what's out there, you know, but I've chucked it out anyway, and hope for the best. It's always good to start a fishing trip with a bit of refreshment. it's not high tide for a couple of hours, so no point in wasting time being below at the pier. I was out further along the peninsula earlier on, looking at a couple of stands and too rough, and I decided to just come back in here and just do a little bit of float fishing. The float, it's a bit windier than I would like here. I'm casting over there and the float is making its way across here, ending off over there. I'm hoping that this will get better over the next 2 hours. High tide is at 10 o'clock, which is in about 2 hours time, so, and then of course that's also sunset, so hopefully things will get better by then. Right now there is nothing here. Another pollock. My first mackerel, and he's been snagged across the back here, the poor bugger. It's been a good 15 minutes so far. 1, 2, 3, 7 pollock, 1 mackerel. Shaping up to be a good evening. Gotta keep these covered from the seagulls. They're patrolling around there, look at them. Come on, buddy. That is a good sized mackerel. Beautiful mackerel. It's been a nicely productive evening already. I was expecting it to be good this evening. There's a little bit more swell than I would like, but these are the best of what I've caught so far. I've caught 2 mackerel and about 8 pollock. That's a nice sized mackerel. Pollock are a bit small. I'm trying not to catch them. They're on the bottom, and I'm back. I'm on the float right now, just to take a break from the I'm just watching to take a break from the spinning, but no, I better go and lift this rod just in case. I better not leave my fish in plain sight here. I walked away here and left these 2 out. Better put these 2 back in the bag, because the seagulls will have them gone in an instant. I've seen the seagulls steal some of the fish from that guy there. They are thieving bastards, so well, I guess we all gotta eat, you know. I won't be able to stay here for much longer because it's been okay so far, but there are some big swells coming through. I'm just going to have to move up there maybe, and getting a little bit tricky here. I believe the pollock are on the bottom, so I'm trying not to go on to drag along the bottom anymore, because I have enough pollock. Pollock are not so tasty. The mackerel are the tasty ones. He's making slow progress, but he's getting there. I'll give this a half an hour here. If they're not feeding, there's no point in staying really, you know. But it was great when I came first. They were feeding for an hour and I caught was it 10 pollock and 2 mackerel, and the guys that were here, they caught 7 or 8 as well, maybe 10. And that was a kind of a magic period. So I'll give it a half an hour. I'm beginning to get cold, so if nothing happens here, call it a night. They're just not feeding, and I've lost that last set of tackles, so it's time to call it a night. Catch you next time. I guess it's fish for breakfast, lunch and dinner for the next while.